أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولئك هم المهتدون يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى الشفاعة لكل حول من الأحوال مقتهم يا محمد توجه بك إلى ربك في حاجة هذه لتكسل فشفوا فيه اللهم صل على محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأحوال والآفات وتكسلنا بها جميع الحاجات وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وترفعنا بها عندك أعلى درجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة بعد الممات إنك على كل شيء قدير يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات. Today is our English sitting and the last week achievements of the history, especially in our subcontinent and the Asia region. So that is why we are giving at most last week the tribute to Alama M.Iqbal, rahimahullah. He was the lover of Allah and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam equally, and beloved to all the awliyas of our Hazrat Abul Hasan al-Nadwi rahimahullah. In his all days or all his life, he was fond of the teaching of Alama M.Iqbal. Every his sitting and every his speech used to be full with the poetry of Alama M.Iqbal. And he has written and he has struggled many ways to publish the Alama M.Iqbal teaching. And so in Urdu, he himself has written the Caravan-e-Madina, in which mostly the poetry of Alama M.Iqbal regarding the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is mentioned. And he was having great wish and will to translate the poetry of Alama M.Iqbal in Arabic. And he himself has written the book M.Iqbal, and that was also translated in English, Glory of Iqbal. And after Hazrat when passed away, because he is the founder of this thing, to introduce the teaching of Alama Iqbal in the Arab world. So alhamdulillah, luckily, Jamia al-Azhar Sharif, Egypt, they have translated most of the poetry in Arabic. For example, he has a book, Bang-e-Dara. This is a Persian word, because in poetry of Alama Iqbal, basic poetry is in Persian language. And that is why that its importance has been increased in these days, because this area, Afghanistan, Iran, and our reach is nearby to these countries in Pakistan, they all are Persian speaking. And our elders used to teach this Persian language in their school, colleges, in their education system. But unluckily now that has been not as much as it is required, and it is a time that we should review and we should bring those teaching again. Our Nauman has great vision on this thing. from India, one of very great historian, he came. And he asked from Nauman, he was the also Khalifa of Hazrat Chishti, Professor Chishti, Hazrat Ali Mian, regarding Persian word. So Nauman has given him the reference from the Hadith that those angels, the most powerful angel among the angels, those who are supporting and taking the weight of the Arsh-e-Rahman, so their communication and their tasbih is in Persian. And also the language of Persian is, beside the language of Arabic, the language of Ahl Jannah. So they were very happy. Even our Hazrat Maulana Qamar Zaman Sahib, he has taken these references for his research work and also to generate in India these topics regarding the languages. But he was the follower of Alama Maulana Rum Sahib Rahimahullah, and he has got a poetry, the Pir Rumi and Murid Hindi, and he has composed that very poetry in the best way of the followers and their guides, which is up till now in practice, that followers are asking the question regarding their problems, and on this side, the trainers and the sheikhs, they are giving the answer. So in the same pattern, he has composed that poetry, Pir Rumi, Murid Hindi. So one verse this is a blessing for me to memorize our brothers. He asked from the Pir Rumi, Ho mujhko hikmat o danai ka bayan. Teach me that how I can achieve the wisdom in my life. The answer was also very beautiful. Hikmah ze ayat az lukma halal. If you are in search of that, the wisdom, so take the halal food. Similarly, our Turkish brothers, they have created a dome and a special graveyard and ground for Iqbal near to the grave of Alama Muhammad Maulana Rum Sahib Rahimahullah, and they took the clay of grave of Hazrat Alama Iqbal and they placed there, and they have the nominal symbolic grave over there, which we will give in our sign print. So, and similarly, Alama Iqbal, when he was passing, he did the great things. And his last moment was the very blessed moment which every Muslim is in need, and they are asking from Allah the Husnul Khitam. He was keeping also the soil of Maulana Rum Sahib Rahimahullah with envelope, and he said, when you are burying me, put this beside me. The same thing happened, that they took the soil of Alama Iqbal and they put it beside the Maulana Rum Sahib Rahimahullah. So in his poetry, he is saying that Asia is the greatest part of the universe, and Afghanistan is its heart. So may Allah bless us to follow the teaching of our these elders. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.